Chag sameach, everyone. It's amazing that we can all gather this evening on the uniquest Pesach Seder in our history. It's wonderful to see you all, to see so many people joining us, and we hope that having the Haggadah Shel Pesach that Rabbi Gimbel has provided for us on the left side of your screen will help you if you don't have a copy of it yourself. I want to start with a reading by one of our congregants. His name is Rich Gitlin. And he says, "Why is this Pesach different from all other years? In all other years, we gather with family and friends. In this year, we shelter in place. In all other years, we tell the story of our coming out of Egypt. This year, we tell the stories of everyday heroes. In all other years, we dip karpas into salt water. This year, we shed tears for those who are suffering today. In all other years, we eat matzah, the bread of affliction. This year, we pray for the afflicted. Our traditional magid, our storyteller, begins, 'This is the bread of affliction. May all who are hungry come and eat.' This year, we pray, may all those who are ill receive healing. May all those that are lonely find companionship. May all those that are questioning find answers. May the healers find protection. May parents guide their children with calm, and may the children support their parents with love. May this scourge upon us come to an end, and may God's light break through the darkness. May our sheltered and upended lives return with purpose and respect for one another. Now we are here. Next year, we will be together. Now are the days of doubt and worry. Next year, we will see the Pesach of new beginnings." 300 years ago, a ship called the Mayflower set sail to the New World. This was a great event in the history of England. Yet I wonder if there is one Englishman who knows at what time this ship will set sail. Do the English know how many people embarked on this voyage? What quality of bread did they eat? Yet more than 3,300 years ago, before the Mayflower set, the Jews left Egypt. Every Jew in the world, even in America or Soviet Russia, knows exactly what date they left. The 15th of the month of Nisan. Everyone knows what kind of bread the Jews ate, matzah. Even today, Jews worldwide eat matzah on the 15th of Nisan. They retell the story of the Exodus and all the troubles Jews have endured since being exiled, saying, "This year, slaves, next year, free. This year here, next year in Jerusalem, in Zion, in Eretz Yisrael." And that is the nature of the Jews. David Ben-Gurion.
We begin our Seder journey with Hadlakat Neirot, the lighting of our festival candles. This is a slightly different lighting ritual than you may be used to, as we recite the blessing, then light the candles, and we do not cover our eyes. So, if you have candles, get them ready, and we'll join together in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshana b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel yom tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Chag sameach, everyone. Chag Pesach sameach. light your candles, and bring that light into our lives. There's a custom at this moment of blessing our loved ones. So if you are with a son, here are all the blessings. What we're going to do is we're going to give everybody a moment to find the blessings that are appropriate for your situation. So if you want to bless your children to bless their parents, blessing the spouses, and we'll say the last one in just a moment when everyone is done blessing each other. And we'll join together in our blessing all together. Yivarech Elohim otanu kulanu yachad be'orah be'ahava uv'shalom.
Seder, as you know, means order. So it's very easy for us to follow the plan, what we're supposed to do. Kadesh Urchatz. And the list that you see on the on your screens tell us the order of the Seder and exactly what we do. There is a beautiful, very old, this is not just from Sinai, this is from Babylonia, this melody that comes to us and shows us what we're supposed to do. So we begin. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz Magid Rochza Motzi Matzah Marur Korech Shulchan Orech Safon Barech Halel Yitzhak. And we go from that list directly to Kadesh. And we say the blessing for the wine. And this is our first cup. And fill your cups. We are overjoyed to be able to join together to sing, but I believe that we have an obligation to remember in each cup of joy there is so much sorrowing. So I would like for us to spill out a little bit of wine from each cup. And this is a reminder that not everyone is doing so well or can be together to celebrate as we can. Raise your cup of wine. Hineni mukhan umzuman l'kayem mitzvat kos rishon shel arba kosot. Here I am ready to perform the mitzvah of the first cup of wine and to dedicate this whole evening to the telling of the story of miracles and wonders that were performed for our ancestors in the land of Egypt on the night of the 15th of the month of Nisan, more than 3,200 years ago. And this is what the Torah commands us. Remember the day of your exodus from Egypt. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol העם, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה, מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון, את יום חג המצות הזה, זמן חירותנו נקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ומועדי קודשך בשמחה ובששון ינחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש ישראל והזמנים.
And we join together in Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. L'chaim.
Urchatz. The ritual hand washing prepares us for eating finger foods like karpas, and we use a pitcher of water, and we have a special one here. I'll show you. And we wash our hands as we have been doing daily, but this time without a blessing. And the reason for this, so that your mind will begin to think, why? And why is this night and this hand washing different from others? The song.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
No, you're good. Go. Do it.
The Song of Songs is read every Pesach, and actually in the Sephardic tradition, it is read every Friday night, is the songs of love poetry that our rabbis decided should be in our canon of liturgy in the Bible, because they felt that it was the love between God and the people of Israel, and we know it also to be the love of lovers. And so we begin with Dodi Lee and Gantwerk Mayer family.
we take our karpas, our green vegetable. Some may have parsley, some may have celery. We're going to take a green vegetable and dip it in the salt water, which reminds us of the tears So we join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hadama. Blessed are you, Adonai, ruler of the universe, who creates the fruit of the earth. We dip a vegetable in salt water and b'tei avon. Salty.
Salty. Yum.
On the next page, we break the middle matzah. Where all these bugs came from? They came from the flowers. We break the middle matzah. Here's our matzah bag. Maybe you have a matzah bag as well that means something to you and your family. We take the middle matzah. Once we find it. And we break it into two pieces. We're going to wrap and set aside the larger piece as the afikomen, the dessert matzah, to be eaten at the end of the meal. The smaller piece of matzah is returned to its place with the other two. Halachma anya. This is the bread of affliction, which our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. Let all who are hungry come and eat with us. Let all those who are in need come and share our meal. This year we are here. Next year, may we be in the land of Israel. This year we are still slaves. Next year, may we all be free. And you can participate at home. This is a good moment if you've got some kiddos or people who act like kiddos. You can take this opportunity to start the process of hiding the afikomen, which we will need later. It's customary that the youngest children recite the 4 questions. The 4 questions, Manish Tana, on page 9. We start as a debate, but what makes this debate different is that this is a debate l'shem shamayim, for a higher purpose. This is not just arguing over anything mundane. You're yawning. Thanks, bud. Great. So let's join together. Let's join together in singing our 4 questions. Will the Gimbelitos please lead us? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Manishana halayla hazeh mikol halaylot shebechol halaylot anu ochlin chametz u'matzah halayla hazeh kulo matzah halayla hazeh kulo matzah shebechol halaylot ein
Anu ochlin she'ar yerakot
halayla hazeh maror halayla hazeh maror shebechol halaylot ein anu masbilim afilu pa'am echad
hazeh, halayla hazeh, shetefeh amin. Halayla hazeh, halayla hazeh, shetefeh amin.
שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בין יושבינו ונסובין, בין יושבינו ונסובין.
הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים. הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים. Nicely done. Well done. How is this night different from all other nights? On all other nights, we eat chametz and matzah. Why on this night, only matzah? On all other nights, we eat all vegetables. Why on this night, maror? On all other nights, we don't dip even once. Why on this night do we dip twice? On all other nights, we eat either sitting up, upright, or reclining. Why on this night do we all recline? We begin to answer that we were slaves and now we are free. Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin. Avadim hayinu, ata b'nei chorin. On the next page, oh goodness. We've asked Herb Hein to lead us in Let My People Go. So Herb, let me unmute you. Take it away.
When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. Thus said the Lord, bold Moses said, let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go.
Rabbi.
It helps to unmute. This night is different from all other nights because once we were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, but Adonai our God took us out with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. If Adonai had not brought our ancestors out of Egypt, then we, our children, and our children's children would still be slaves in the land of Egypt. Even if we know the story well and have told it many times, the more we tell it in great detail, the more we are to be praised. Baruch hamakom, Baruch hu. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch hu. Praised be God who is everywhere. Praised be God. Praised be God who gave the Torah to the people Israel. Praised be God.
it's very important to remember that 4 is an important number in the Seder. 4 children, 4 questions, 4 cups of wine, and we have 4 children. And I thought we might have divided them up, but I'm not really sure. And the Torah alludes to the 4 children, 1 wise or thoughtful, 1 wicked or rebellious, 1 simple or innocent, and 1 who does not know how to ask. The wise or thoughtful child might ask, what's the meaning of the laws and rules which Adonai our God has commanded us? We should explain to this child in great detail all the laws and the customs of Passover. In the American World Jewish Service Haggadah, we have 4 children as well, and we try and teach them. What does the activist child ask? The Torah tells me justice, justice you shall pursue. But how can I pursue justice? Empower her always to seek pathways to advocate for the vulnerable. As Proverb teaches us, speak up for the mute, for the rights of the unfortunate. Speak up, judge righteously, champion the poor and needy. We come to the wicked child, the Rasha, or the rebellious child, and that child might ask, what does this service mean to you? This child emphasizes the meaning of the Seder to you and not to the child's own self. Since this child excludes themselves from the community and rejects a major principle of faith, you should provide a sharp answer. It is because of what Adonai did for me when I went free from Egypt, me, and not that child. Had that child been there, he or she would have not been redeemed. So they call this the skeptical child. How can I solve problems of such enormity? Encourage him by explaining that he not need solve the problems, he must only do what he is capable of doing. As we read in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our ancestors, it is not your responsibility to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. Tom, the simple or innocent child, might ask, what does all of this mean? And we should answer, with a mighty hand, God freed the Jewish people from the house of bondage. This child might be indifferent. It's not my responsibility. Persuade her that responsibility cannot be shirked. As Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel writes, the opposite of good is not evil. The opposite of good is indifference. In a free society where terrible wrongs exist, some are guilty, but all are responsible. And as for the child who does not know how to ask, you should prompt the child. The Torah says, you shall tell your child on that day. In other words, don't wait for the child to take initiative. Start the story, your story, and hopefully this silent child will listen, absorb, and identify with you. It is because of what Adonai did for me when I went free from Egypt. And as for this uninformed child who does not know how to ask, prompt him to see himself as an inheritor of our people's legacy. As it says in Deuteronomy, you must befriend this stranger, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. At this season of liberation, let us work toward the liberation of all people. Let us respond to our children's questions with actions and justice.
At the beginning, our ancestors worshiped the gods of the lands beyond the Euphrates River. Then God drew Abraham and Sarah close and brought them to Canaan to God's service. Tonight we tell the story of an ancient relationship between God and our people. Tonight we tell the story of a link that is renewed in every generation. Blessed is the one who keeps this promise to the people Israel. Servitude to others, even if it lasts 400 years, will come to an end. God is the ultimate judge. Israel will survive, enriched. Long ago, Adonai promised Abraham and Sarah that their children would be a great people. It is this promise that has given our ancestors courage and hope. So we fill our glasses again as we prepare for the next cup. And we sing together, Vehi she'amda lavotenu velanu. Vehi she'amda lavotenu velanu.
Tonight's script is telling the story of our national autobiography as wandering Jews. We go from migration down to the exploitation, and then up from rags to riches, and finally to homecoming. The text we use was once recited by heart by every Jew when bringing our first fruits of the homeland to the temple. Today, I want to tell Adonai our God how I have come to be in the land Adonai promised to our ancestors to give to us. My ancestor was a wandering Aramean. He descended to Egypt and resided there in small number. He became a nation, great, powerful, and numerous. And then the Egyptians treated us badly. They persecuted us and subjected us to hard labor. We cried out to Adonai, the God of our ancestors. God heard our voice, saw our persecution and our labor and our oppression. God took us out of Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, with awesome power, signs, and wonders. Then God brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land of milk and honey.
It's customary to tell the story of the Seder, the story of the Exodus. And 20 years ago this Passover, my sister, her friend Laura, and I wrote the Passover story in secular song. So I want to invite all of you to join along. A long, long time ago, in the land of Egypt, where the Israelites were Pharaoh's slaves, Pharaoh said Hebrew boys should die, and the Jewish mothers began to cry. But Yochebed refused to throw her boy away. She and Miriam put him in the Nile, where he was found after a while. Pharaoh's daughter saved him. In the palace his mother raised him. Since from the water was where he came, they decided Moses was his name. And he grew up with the morals of a Jew. One day, growing up in Pharaoh's palace, Moses witnessed an Egyptian beating a Jewish slave. Enraged by this action, Moses did what any of us would have done. He broke into song. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a whip over there, beating a slave like he just don't care. I'm singing, stop Egypt, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going round. In a fit of anger, Moses struck down the taskmaster and fled to the desert where he tended sheep for a while. One day, something a little bizarre happened. Suddenly, God came to me in a flaming tree, said I want my people to be free. Go to Pharaoh, speak for me. Go to Pharaoh, speak for me. So Moses went to Pharaoh. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, a burning bush told me the other day that I should go to Egypt and say, it's time to let my people be free. So listen to God if you won't listen to me. I say, Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. wouldn't listen. Pharaoh wouldn't listen to Moses' plea. Thus, the plagues. Blood, frog, light, slice, peace, cattle, tease, boil, hail, locust, darkness, blood, frog, light, slice, peace, cattle, tease, boil, hail. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the it's the end of the world as we know it. So spill your wine.
And so we take on the tradition of pouring out our wine from the plagues that were descended on Egypt by God for Pharaoh's refusal to let our people go. And we take either our pinky or our spoons or a fork or something, and we dip a little bit in and put it out so that our cup, again, we say is not full, and rather we are reminded by the plagues. And I will chant, and you chant after me. Dam, Tzfardea, Kinim, Arov, Dever, Shrim, Barad, Arbe, Chosher, Makat Bechorot. And we wipe our fingers on our napkins. We don't put them in our mouths to lick off the wine, because even this we don't do as we remember all of the plagues. At first, Pharaoh would let the Israelites go and then hardened his heart, so Pharaoh would change his mind. And every time, although the 9 plagues, all through the 9 plagues, so enter the 10th plague, death of the firstborn. This one put Pharaoh over the top.
Our doors are crossed with blood. God spared our sons. We're out of here. We're moving our buns, but we don't have buns. They didn't have time to rise. We're leaving en route to Canaan. Don't think that we'll be back again. Hey Jews, it's time to go. So the Jews left with matzah in hand from Egypt to the promised land. Got to a sea they couldn't cross. Moses raised his hand up to the boss. Pharaoh's army was close behind, and hey, this brings a song to mind. Been working so hard, time to make these waters part. 400 years busting our backs, finally God's cutting us some slack. The sea is splitting, tonight we'll get out of this town. The sea is splitting, we'll cross the sea and not drown. Tonight we're gonna be free, ooh-wee, crossing the Red Sea. Miriam, break out the timbrels and drums. Page 17. Adonai has shown our people so many acts of kindness. For each one we say Dayenu, meaning that alone would have been enough. For that alone we are grateful. Ilu hoti anu mi Mitzrayim, hoti anu mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu Natan, Natan Manu, Natan Manu et Shabbat, Natan Manu et Shabbat. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Ilu Natan, Natan Manu, Natan Manu et Torah, Natan Manu et Torah. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Had Adonai brought us out of Egypt and not divided the sea for us, Dayenu. Had Adonai punished the Egyptians and destroyed their idols, Dayenu. Had Adonai divided the sea and led us across on dry land, Dayenu. Had Adonai taken care of us in the desert for 40 years and fed us manna, Dayenu. Had Adonai given us Shabbat, Dayenu. Had Adonai brought us to Mount Sinai and given us the Torah,
Dayenu.
Had Adonai brought us to the land of Israel and built the holy temple,
Dayenu.
for all these, alone and together, we say, Dayenu.
Dayenu. Rabban Gamliel used to say, anyone who does not expound upon three symbols has not fulfilled the obligation of observing the Seder table. And these are the three: Pesach, Matzah, and Maror. Rabbi Bernstein is going to demonstrate as I read them. Our ancestors ate the Pesach, the Passover sacrifice, in the days of the temple. Why? The Pesach reminds us that the Holy One, Pesach, passed over the houses of our ancestors in Egypt. Our Torah teaches this is the Passover sacrifice, for God passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and destroyed Egypt, but spared our houses, and the people bowed low in homage. Our ancestors sacrificed a lamb and smeared its blood on their doorposts so that their homes and their lives might be spared. We raise the broken middle matzah. Tonight we eat matzah. Why? Our Torah teaches, and they baked unleavened cakes of the dough that they had taken out of Egypt, since they had been driven out of Egypt and could not delay, nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. God revealed to our ancestors, and they tasted redemption even before their dough had risen. Matzah is the bread of wandering, the bridge between our sojourn in the land of enslavement and the land of freedom. We raise the maror and say, tonight we eat maror. Why? Our Torah teaches they made life bitter for them with harsh labor in mortar and in bricks and with all sorts of harsh slavery in the field. The Egyptians embittered our ancestors' lives in Egypt. Cruelty, violence, and oppression plague every human society, darken our world, and embitter our lives. Challenge us to raise our voices in the name of justice.
The next thing I believe is one of the most important things in the Haggadah. And it says, B'chol dor vador chayav lir'ot et atzmo ke'ilu hu yatsa mimitzrayim. So please, if you will read that line with me, it's in Hebrew and it's in transliteration, and then we are going to read together. B'chol dor vador Hayavim anu lir'ot et atzmo ke'ilu hu yatsa mimitzrayim. In every generation, each of us must see ourselves as if we ourselves came out of Egypt, as it is written, and you shall tell your child on that day, saying, this is what God did for me when I came out of Egypt. The Holy One who is blessed did not redeem only our ancestors, but God delivered us as well. As it is said, God redeemed us from that place in order to bring us out and give us the land that God promised to our ancestors. Each and every one of us sees ourselves as if we personally came out of Egypt.
The time has come to thank, sing, praise, glorify, exalt, bless, raise up, and celebrate the one who did wonders for our ancestors. And for us. God took us out of slavery and brought us to freedom. From despair, God brought us to life. From mourning, God brought us to celebration. From darkness, God brought us to great light. From enslavement, God brought us to redemption. And so we sing a new song to God. Hallelujah. Page 20. We conclude the Magid section by drinking the second cup of wine, the cup of redemption. Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvat kos sheni shel arba kosot. Here I am, ready to perform the mitzvah of the second of the 4 cups, the cup of redemption. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who redeemed us and redeemed our ancestors from Egypt, and who brought us to this night to eat matzah and maror. Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, may you bring us in peace to future holidays. We will thank you for our redemption. Blessed are you, the Redeemer of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. Finally, say again?
Before Rabbi Gimbel begins the second washing, I just want to say that our hands can be vehicles for creation or destruction. And when we cleanse our hands and dedicate them to working for the good in the world and remembering who we are and for taking care of ourselves, those are the things that are important.
Amen. Finally, we begin the Passover meal, the third section or third cup of the Seder. Storytelling leads into communal eating because on Passover, Jews eat history. After pouring water over each hand, we say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netzilat yadayim.
Amen.
This is the one time during Pesach in which one is obligated to eat matzah. Take the 3 matzot in hand. Where did we put them? We take the 3 matzot in hand and make sure the middle one is broken, we are sure, and the others are still whole. After the blessing, take and eat from the top and middle matzah while saving the 3rd matzah for the Hillel sandwich. You can dip the matzah in salt or charoset. Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvat achilat matzah. Here I am, ready to perform the mitzvah of eating matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat matzah. Te'avon. I'm going to put some charoset on here. My family, we start the holiday with the traditional Eastern European variety. And as the week goes on, we move more into the Moroccan, Sephardic, Turkish charoset with dried fruit.
Where's the salt?
Right here.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. Now we take some maror and dip it in the charoset, but not so much that it eradicates the bitter taste.
I don't like
We recall that our ancestors were able to withstand the bitterness of slavery because it was sweetened by the hope of freedom. We recite the blessing, eat, and savor the maror. Hineni mukhan umzuman lakayem mitzvat achilat maror. Here I am ready to perform the mitzvah of eating maror. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat maror.
And now we have come to Korech. On Passover, in the days of the temple in Jerusalem, Rabbi Hillel would eat a sandwich made of the Pesach, the lamb offering, matzah, and maror. Now we do not bring sacrifice to the temple, so our sandwich is made only with matzah and maror. And after that, we like to put a little charoset on it and make it a double sandwich. And there is no blessing, so take your matzah, put some maror, and add some charoset if you want, and make a sandwich. And now we are ready for Shulchan Orech, the set table, and we have our dinner. We are back in 30 minutes. We will play some Passover music for you, and enjoy your meal, enjoy your Passover Seder meal, and come back to us in 30 minutes.
All right, everyone, it's 7 o'clock. We are back. If you're still eating your dinner, that's okay. We're gonna keep going on. But before we do that, there's something very important we need to do.
What is it?
It's finding the afikomen. We need to find the afikomen.
We need to go to our shop.
Go find the afikomen.
Oh, for a second. Okay, guys, it's in the family room. Okay. This is probably going to be easy. It is somewhere in this room. You don't have to open anything to see it. Remember, it's wrapped.
Where could the afikomen be?
I know, I have no idea. I wasn't there.
How was your dinner, Rabbi?
It was wonderful, thanks, and yours?
Good, it was very, very good.
Remy seems to like matzah. That's not good.
I can only imagine Remy chewing a piece of matzah. Oh my goodness, we found the afikomen. Maya found the afikomen, thanks God. Now we can finish the Seder. Oh, we're supposed to.
Yes.
Did you guys know you need to ransom the afikomen?
We forgot to open it.
You forgot to check to see if it's open? One year at Seder, we were looking for the afikomen and couldn't find it, and one of my cousins had accidentally eaten it in the other room, so he left a note inside the napkin that said, "Sorry, I got hungry, signed Elijah."
Did Elijah eat
But
it?
you guys have to ransom it. Would you guys like a treat?
Yes.
Because you
All
have
right.
to give it back so that we can finish the
You have to
Seder.
give it back. Okay, now that we have the afikomen, we can finish the Seder.
It's a
Do you want to
treat.
get them their thing?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't know if you wanted it right now.
Yeah. So we joined together Hineni mukhan umzuman lekayem mitzvah achilat afikoman zecher lekorban pesach hanechal al hasova. Here I am, ready to perform the mitzvah of eating the afikoman. This mitzvah is a reminder of the Pesach sacrifice, which was eaten on a full stomach in the days of the temple. Page 24, we join together in Birkat HaMazon, Barech. Chaverai nevarech. Yehi Shem Adonai mevarach me'etav adolam. Birshut chaverai nevarech Elohim yesha'achalnu mishelo.
Baruch Elohim shachanu mishelo, u'tuvo chayinu.
Baruch Elohim yesha'achalnu mishelo, u'tuvo chayenu. Baruch hu v'ruch shemo. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Hazan et ha'olam kulo betuvo bechen bechesed u'rachamim. Hu noten lechem lechol basar ki le'olam chasto. U'v'tuvo hagadol. Tamid lo chasar lanu ve'ayachsar lanu mazon le'olam ba'ed ba'avor shemo hagadol. Ki rozanim farnes lakol. Umetiv hakol umechin mazon lechol briotav asher bara. Baruch atah Adonai Hazan et hakol. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
We are grateful for the food that we have eaten, and we gave thanks. And now we are ready for the third cup of wine. And we pour out a little still for those in need. Hineni umzuman nekayem mitzvat kol shlishi shel arba kosot. Here I am ready to perform the mitzvah of the third cup of wine, which concludes this Pesach meal. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. One very important mitzvah and ritual that we do is to welcome the prophet Elijah. And we have actually a kos, a cup for Elijah. So I raise it. This particular cup was given to me by very good friends from New Jersey. This cup for Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet. We open our front door to greet our honored guest and invite him to join our Seder. We pray that he will return us, bringing a time of peace and freedom. It is this moment where we bring to Elijah all of our hopes and our dreams, and especially at this time, the hope that is eternal, that we will be redeemed today from this plague.
Thank you, Gantwerk Mayor family. We join together in Hallel. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. Everyone sing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Praise Adonai, great is God's love, now and always. Everyone say hallelujah. Praise Adonai, great is God's love, now and always. Everyone say hallelujah. Hodu l'Adonai Kito, Ile Olam Chasdo, Yom Arna Yisrael, Ile Olam Chasdo, Yom Runa Bet Aharon, Ile Olam Chasdo, Yom Runa Yirei Adonai, Ile Olam Chasdo. May the ones who enter be forever blessed in God's name. We bless you from the house of Adonai. Kilei olam chasdo. Hallelujah, 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 oh, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hodu l'Adonai Kito, Kilei olam chasdo, Yom Arna Yisrael, Kilei olam chasdo, Yom Runa Bet Aharon, Kilei olam chasdo, Yom Arna Yirei Adonai, Kilei olam chasdo. Everyone sing hallelujah, 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 whoa, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You're muted.
If you will fill your fourth cup, we will join together. Here I am ready to perform the mitzvah of the fourth cup of wine, which concludes the Hallel song of thanks and praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Chaim.
L'chaim. Remy.
Yeah, and Remy also chanting.
Everyone's barking the prayer. It's really funny. Now can we have one of our
When we're off, does it?
You said after the next song.
Where are you, Rabbi?
I'm right here.
Okay, I can't see you.
Oh,
Are we going to sing a little bit?
we are. Let's do it.
Page 31.
Adirhu, Yivne Veto Bekarov, Bimheira, V'yameinu Bekarov, B'nei Vetzcha Bekarov, Bachorhu, Gadolhu, Tagulhu, Yivne Veto Bekarov, Bimheira, v'yameinu bekarov. El b'nei vetzcha bekarov. Adurhu, vatikhu, zakaihu, chasidhu, yivne veto bekarov. Bimheira, v'yameinu bekarov. El b'nei vetzcha bekarov, tahorhu, yachidhu, kativhu, lamudhu, melechu, norahu, zagivhu, yivzivhu, dodehu, tzadikhu, yivne veto bekarov. Bimheira, v'yameinu bekarov. El b'nei vetzcha bekarov. Kadoshu, rachumhu, shadaihu, takifhu, yivne veto bekarov. Bimheira, v'yameinu bekarov. El b'nei vetzcha bekarov.
So, our final song for this evening. We're good. Our final page for this evening from the Haggadah is Nirtzach. And this is the ending. And before we end our Seder, first of all, I want to thank Rabbi Gimbel and Ari and Maya for doing such a beautiful job, and for the Gantwerk Mayor family, and for Herb Hein and all of you for coming to participate so that we can be together this Pesach night. We will do the Nirtzach, and then we will open up, take away the Haggadah and open up the screen so that people can see each other and perhaps say hello and share a little bit. Please join me. Nirtzach. Our Seder now has ended with its history-laden rites.
We have
We
journeyed
have journeyed from Mitzrayim on this storied night of nights. We bore witness, we remembered our covenant with you. So we pray that you redeem us as you pledge your word to do. The Shana Haba Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem.
Maybe. And together. Maybe.
Chag sameach, everyone.
Chag sameach, have a beautiful, beautiful holiday.
Chag sameach, everyone.
So much. It was really wonderful. So good to
Hi, guys.
see Rabbi.
Candles now.
You guys like it for your.
I'm out.
Where's Baba?
Yeah, I know.
Passover, everybody.
Passover.
Passover.
Everyone, today.
You're already there.
Thank you, everyone.
Great to be with your children.
Everyone's drinking, hanging out. They don't realize the screen's still on.
Hi, Naughty Bucket.
Looking like she's waiting for somebody to do something. People might get the idea. That's what happens when I work meeting. It's great because a lot of people
Everyone's home tonight. The greatest of all.
It looks like my mother just waiting, like, what's gonna happen now?
Hi, Noni. Hi, Noni.
You guys did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sameach, everyone.
Stay healthy.
How you doing? Passover.
Yeah. Papa K's still looking for the applicant.
Like a cat wife.
Gantwerk signing off.
Just left. Just left to think about it.
Yeah.
Show it, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Until we meet again.
Thank you.
Yeah, now.
Passover.
Hi.
So nice to see everybody.
Wow.
It was great. This was just great.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful.
Love